Blue. You're fixing this one. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Daniel? What's up, Necron?
All right. How about that new intro? Looking good.
How about that?
Eric does a fine job. I like the
Appreciate
picture
it.
of the Golden Gate and
Yeah, how about that?
and Oracle Park there and
Levi's
Levi's.
Chase.
And an empty Chase. Couldn't find one with any fans in it. What was this, a COVID game or?
Could have been.
What's up, True? What's up, Don? I see 9 degrees in Evansville. No, thank you.
So anyway, we got a lot to cover tonight. We won't go too long, but we'll see where things take us. A Monday night playoff game just ended the Philadelphia Eagles season, and I go a perfect 6-0 in the
you did
games.
Yeah,
I went a perfect 6-0. I changed my pick. I even put it out on Twitter tonight, just so it was on the record that if AJ Brown out, my brain's not working. I'm so stuffed because I had this amazing meal tonight. Oh man, you won't see me snacking tonight, guys. I had some street tacos from the Mrs. De La Fuente. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, what was the protein?
Carnitas.
Ooh.
Carnitas with some not avocado, with the guacamole. Thank you.
Guacamole, beans and rice. Oh, Dan, you're not going to be snacking tonight, man.
No snacking tonight.
Any cilantro? You got cilantro in there?
No cilantro tonight. But
she wasn't sure if Dan was allergic to that.
But did not. I'm even more stuffed because I went back to get the last street taco, and my wife says, "Oh, give me that one. I'll take that one. I don't want there was a big tortilla in the dish." So I said, "Okay, here's the little one." I took the big one, ate that, then she didn't finish the street one, and I had to finish that. So I am
nice.
I will weigh
more
on
tortilla, right? Was it corn?
I don't know. Was that? I don't know if it was corn or flour. I think it was flour.
No, it was both. It was mainly corn.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Put some in some oil on the frying pan.
Corn tortillas.
You put them in some oil on the frying pan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Did it all up. Yeah. Dan loves his Mexican food, so
I do.
A little homemade meal tonight.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Give me Mexican. Give me Italian. Give me Filipino. Give me Chinese. Give me what else?
That would be an interesting top 3 for everybody. Like, what foods can you not go out? Can you not go without?
Yeah, my top 3 right now. I don't know, man. I got to put Filipino up there, Chinese, and
you got to decide between Mexican and Italian.
Well, I'm probably gonna go Mexican now because as I've gotten older, the dairy just, I become faith, The dairy, I'm a little lactose intolerant now, and so everything in Italian has got a lot of cheese, and don't get me, I love me some pizza. I went to this barbecue place. Let me ask my wife real quick.
Oh, I like Mark Doherty's answer. Thai, Vietnamese, and Filipino. Yeah, I love my Asian food.
I got to get my wife here. She'll be come in here in a minute. We went to this place the other day, last Saturday, with some friends. Oh, hey, what's the name of that? We're live on there. What's the name of that place we went to eat last week, Saturday? Not a week or so ago. Remember, we made the own. What was the name of that place?
What place?
Well, we went with Loida and your work.
Oh, Mana Barbecue.
Mana?
Mana Barbecue.
No, we went to a place called Mana Barbecue. You guys have that on the east side?
It kind of rings a bell.
You order and it's all you can eat. It's like $28.99 a person, and then they got this center grill that's already smoking hot, and you just throw your chicken on there, your beef, and
That sounds
whatever.
like Korean barbecue.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of like
a prepare the food on your own.
Yeah. Anyway, overrated in my opinion. You know, I wasn't.
Mongolian.
Yeah, Mongolia barbecue sounds good,
Mongolian
but
barbecue.
that Mana barbecue, it was okay, but you know, when the ladies ordered the octopus and they threw that on there and they put the octopus on the grill, and I saw the octopus go like this.
Oh, those are some thick tentacles. No thanks.
And I was like, okay, that's enough for me. No, I don't, you know.
No thanks. Pass.
So I could make a joke, but I think I'll keep it family oriented here. So anyway, the Eagles go down tonight to the Buccaneers, and I'm predicting Nick Sirianni may get the boot here in the next day or two.
That was an embarrassment. 9 points.
And to lose 6 of 7, they were 10-1, and they basically finished 11 and 7. Was that their final record? I think
something like that, right?
They pulled a Los in fantasy football and just kind of tanked at the end.
That happens.
It happens.
And it happened after the Niners whooped them.
That's where Sirianni should get fired, but I will not fire myself.
Yeah, Lou Marston says Warriors stunked it up again tonight. Season is over. Trade everyone. StubHub will be worse. The Giants on StubHub. Possible riot on its way. Is StubHub taking back over the Giants? I think they are, aren't they? Because StubHub was their partner for years, and then last year they went to I can't remember who it was. Lou will remember. SeatGeek. I was going to say SeatGeek. And they're back with StubHub, I think. Yeah. Warriors are a mess. I think the Warriors just don't trade Kuminga, please. I like the kid. He's got so much raw talent. 21 years old. He's only going to get better. He's not even close to his prime. He's probably got 5-6 years before he gets into his prime. You know, that kid at 25 may be an all NBA first team. I'm serious. You'd be huge mistake, even if you got Siakam for him, because there's no guarantee Siakam signs. And if, you know, I just think Kuminga is just, I mean, he's starting to go down low. When this kid starts to fill out a little bit more, he's already strong, but he's going up, down. He's taking it down to the bucket and going up with those guys. He's learning that he can't be stopped. So keep Jonathan Kuminga. I gotta believe those people are smart enough to see it. I mean, I see it. Lowe sees it. Anybody who watches basketball, you could see it. And unless you're getting, somebody huge back, like a Jaylen Brown or something like that in a deal, I'm not giving up Kuminga.
It's funny. The Warriors are much like the Giants. They prefer veterans, but for different reasons. Like the Warriors are desperately trying to get their core three, mainly Steph, close to another title. That's why they want to, go all in with veterans and not trust, the long-term effect of, younger players, even as talented as Kuminga. The Giants, I'm not sure why they go in on vets because they're nowhere close to a championship. So same kind of philosophies, go in with the older guys rather than the younger guys, but for different reasons. Go figure.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So tonight it's going to be kind of a smorgasbord kind of topics. So we'll touch on the Giants. We'll talk on the Warriors. We'll talk on the Niners, definitely NFL. Wherever the chat kind of leads us tonight, we'll just kind of go. But the Giants. Let's get a little bit into the Giants here. 9 o'clock. We'll hit the Giants for a bit, and then we'll move on to the NFL. I don't know what the Giants are up to because, I asked this of Los tonight. I even asked Eric, asked same question. And I'll ask this to the chat. In fact, put this in a poll quickly, Eric.
Sure.
And you guys can answer in the poll. And if you answer in the chat, make sure you do it in the poll as well. That way we get a good representation. The question is this: who would you rather have the Giants sign? And we could put a third option in there too, because we might get some neithers. Would you rather have Carlos Correa or Cody Bellinger? And let's say you had to pay both of them $200 million. Okay, at $200 million for the term of the contract. Would you rather have Correa or Cody Bellinger?
Who do you want for a third?
Neither. Just put neither. Some people might prefer neither. I'm just kind of curious.
I'm just putting names. I'm not putting no numbers to it.
Okay.
It's out there.
Yeah, and here's why I bring this up. I'm starting to think the Giants publicity PR department. I think they're just saying they're in on these guys, and there's really no interest. They weren't in on Ohtani. If they were in on Ohtani at $700 million, where's the $200 million for someone like Bellinger? Come on.
Good question.
Serious.
It's a good question.
I know they're different players and that Ohtani will bring in that money with marketing dollars, but we're talking $500 million difference, and we're talking less years. Ohtani got 10 years. I think Bellinger, you're looking at about 7 years. And I think the real market for Bellinger is probably closer to about 160 for 7. And that's why he hasn't signed. But I think if you're the Giants, you could get it done if you offered 7 years and 210 or 200, right in that range, 28 to 30 million a year. That's a huge number for a guy. Why are we not seeing any mention of Bellinger? Why are we getting? I mean, I love the Jordan Hicks signing, but why are we getting a $44 million instead of? Where's all the money that the Giants supposedly had?
Good
so
question.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it that they're in on these guys.
The only thing I could think of is the only reason why they were going after Ohtani is because they just want to put people in the seats. That's it. It wasn't anything else other than just 100% marketing.
Well,
not even caring about the team.
I told you this, and I guarantee you, they had zero shot at Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. And if they had a 1% chance, they weren't going to get him because Ohtani wanted the team to build other players, and the Giants aren't willing to do that. They haven't even gone out and got anybody for other than Jung-Hoo Lee, who could be really good. Could be really good, but we don't know yet.
He'd be a lot better with some guys hitting behind him.
Exactly. And this is why I proposed that the Giants trade Duvall and Matos and a few other players for Luzardo and Arias. Now what? You know what? If you don't want to trade Duvall and you don't to go get Luzardo, then just go trade a couple of guys, Matos and a few other guys for Arias. That'll be enough. Have the best bullpen in baseball and have the best 1-2 possibly in, or, you know, close. I mean, Dodgers are going to have the best 1-2 with Betts and Ohtani. But the Giants could have some significant men on base if you went and got Arias. And I'm telling you, you can get Arias. I guarantee you could go out and get Arias because the Marlins may say, well, he's not on the market. Listen, you give enough up, you can get a Luis Arias. He's a guy that is not going to – the Marlins are not going to keep to go through free agency. You watch. If he stays with the Marlins, when it comes time for him in a couple years to hit free agency, they will get rid of him. They will not let him walk.
Come on, Chad, we got 112 in here. Only 39 votes. Come on, let's at least get it to 50. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's get.
What would stink about that would be if both general managers kind of agreed to a deal like that, and then here comes Gabe Kapler, in the political side of it, trying to like, oh, screw you, Giants. I know you want Arias, and him somehow, some way sabotaging the deal. Like I could totally see that happening.
No,
like,
all you got to do is trade Slater, man, and Gabe will be all in.
Yeah, throw him in for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I would love Arias on this team. My God, that would be nice.
No, imagine the lineup. If imagine this. If you went out and got
what's up, Benji?
Arias, and you had how much better pitches will the guy Jung-Hoo Lee see if Arias is batting behind him? Right?
Right.
You're going to see better pitches because you're not going to they don't want to have they're not going to pitch around, nibble on Lee because somebody, in the 2-hole is like not that great, and they'll just like make Lee chase. Lee gets on base. Arias is good chance you're going to have second and third, nobody out. Now you sign Bellinger to bat third. And then you put Rhys Hoskins or Jorge Soler. Probably more realistic is Hoskins. And you put him in the 4-hole, the cleanup. And in the 5, you still got Conforto. Now Conforto's going to – and then you put Luciano in the 6th, Bailey 7th, Yaz, Ramos, whoever, 8th, and then Casey Schmidt 9. Now, if you did go out and sign a Matt Chapman and a Bellinger, I don't think they will. In fact, I don't think the Giants do much of anything else other than possibly sign Matt Chapman or a Hoskins. I don't think they do much to their lineup. So that's why how's our poll doing, by the way? I just looked. Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
I'm surprised. 31% so far, neither.
Yep.
Couple more votes, guys. Let's get to half in the chat. Maybe we can get another 15 votes in there.
Be nice.
I
like what Lou says. Lou's making a good point. We still don't have a number 2 or 3 pitcher yet. Starting pitcher, we haven't even acknowledged that yet.
If Luzardo comes from that trade, he would be number 3.
He'd be a 2 or 3.
For
the Giants, he'd be a number 2.
Yeah, but that still is a pretty incomplete rotation, even with
it is. So
hey, right now,
there's so many pieces.
Guys.
Yeah.
How many fingers I got?
2 guys are not coming back until July.
How many fingers I got up?
4.
4.5 or 5? 4.5. 4.5. They're going to be tinkering between 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'll tell you what, Padres.
Hicks is a starter now too.
Oh boy,
I don't know what
That's
he
not
is.
even
A
good.
4.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would be a mistake. That would be a mistake.
he's going to look great for like 2 or 3 innings the second time through the lineup. I don't know. We'll see.
2 or 3 innings, they're going to end up burning him out.
I've seen stranger things have happened.
He's hey, don't make a guy a starter. Well, you know what? He's probably only going to be able to go 70 to 100 innings. I've seen. That's, it's like crap. It's really
A lot easier to go starter to reliever than the other way around.
exactly
Like John Smoltz did.
Yeah. I mean, Hicks started out as a starter, ended up with Tommy John surgery, became, excellent in the bullpen.
So there, stop. So right there, Dan, he was a starter and he got Tommy John surgery. So then he became a reliever and excelled at it. So the Giants are going to try to make a pitcher who may have gotten hurt because he was throwing too many pitches at one time and not what he did great. Is that not like the Giants?
This is the stupidity of Farhan. He's constantly trying to outsmart baseball and do some unconventional stuff, whether it be all the platoons, all of the openers, all of the signings of guys that have been dumped off by other organizations. They dropped them off their 40-man rosters. And Farhan's dumpster diving, going in and picking up these guys on the back end of the 40 roster. And yet he thinks he's going to outsmart baseball. My question is, how's that been working for you? How's that worked for you? You've had 5 seasons, which only one has produced a winning record. 1 out of 5. You had 1 year at 81 and 81. The rest have all been under 500. And I'll tell you what, whatever the under or the winning thing is for the Giants, I think it's like 81 this year. I think they're projected 81, 82, and somewhere. Take the under. Take the under. Unless they sign Bellinger and Hoskins and another starting pitcher or make a trade, take the under. Here,
spring training is like 5 weeks away.
Yeah,
it's less than that, isn't it?
Well, pitchers and catchers, yeah.
Pitchers and catchers are like
4 weeks.
A month.
Like it's fastly approaching, and like Boris is holding out on a lot of his clients until right.
Boris does this though. Boris does this.
Yeah, this guy.
But it shouldn't keep from the Giants from going elsewhere. You could go other directions. The Giants can go other directions, but
yeah, they could have signed people early. But
Rob makes a good point. It has to be ownership. No executive could be that stupid. You would think not.
Yeah, you would
Rob.
think. You would think.
You would think. I mean, I don't know how over under is 78 for the Giants. Lou says, wow. I thought I saw 80 somewhere, but 78, that tells you something.
I think each week it's going to go down if they don't do nothing. That's probably what's happening.
Jeez.
All you got to say is AJ Pollock if you want to really test out that IQ there, Trader Rob. AJ Pollock, man.
I don't know, guys.
Well, you know what's interesting is Dusty Baker is coming over. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
And I told Dan face to face tonight that that's going to be an interesting dynamic to have a pure old school guy that, understands and follows baseball the way he does with the analytical Farhan. And Melvin is going to be more on Dusty's side, and Posey is going to be more on Dusty's side. So little by little, there are more and more people going into the Giants front office that think about baseball the old school way, the way we believe it to be. And not that that's going to make a huge difference. At the end of the day, Farhan's going to have the final word. But if he has enough people in his ear saying, you know what, you need to think twice about doing this, and that, who knows? But it's welcome to have an old friend Dusty back, see what he can do.
That is nice. The only thing I have to say about that is you had Sabian as a special advisor to Farhan. You had Will Clark as a special advisor to Farhan. You had Bochy as a special assistant to Farhan. All these guys at one time, or even Dusty was special assistant to Farhan before he went to the Astros, and he didn't listen to them. He did. Farhan did what he wanted to do.
Do you think these guys actually do anything special?
No,
assistants?
It's special assistants. Come on.
It sounded weird, so I thought I'd
It's
say
like
it.
is it more of a kind of like, hey, this is
It's a
nice
title.
token. Here's
it.
a token, 10 grand for you. Just make an appearance every now and then. Give us a plug. I mean,
I'm not going to believe anything until Farhan's gone, because I mean, we thought Posey's going to come here and make a difference. We thought all these things. I'm done until Farhan's out of the building. Forget about it. I'm not going to even. Not even going to contemplate it. He has to be gone. That's just simple as that.
Well, I think he's there because the ownership group likes him there because.
Oh, of course.
He's
making them money. He's making them money.
He's making them money. And
who couldn't make the money with the ballpark owned free and clear? I mean, really, who couldn't make the money? How difficult is that?
It's not.
Farhan has nothing to do with the stadium being free and clear.
I think Chardal.
He's just not signing big time free agents. That's saving him money. But if ownership really went to Farhan's track record and said, okay, you spent money on this guy, he sucked. You spent money on this guy, he sucked. So you spent less money, but you got nothing in return. At least if you spent on like a guy like we keep preaching, Gosman, we're getting back some good investment on that. The guy's a winner. More wins means more people at the ballpark. More people at the ballpark mean more money. So is Farhan really, really doing something that somebody else couldn't do? I don't think so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so the question is what's going to happen?
Money guy, I'll tell you that.
I guess it sounds like Snell's asking, or Boris is asking for 9 years, 270. Anybody who gives Blake Snell 9 years and 270 needs their head examined. I mean, that will go down as an all-time. You will like have the last 4 years, 5 years of that contract. You will be like, crap, we are stuck.
Highlight Jim Thurkel's comment. that counts me and you out, Dan.
Dang, I could do this job. Give me one of those wigs.
Eric, you're up, man. You got the hair. You're it. By default, Eric Romo.
By default.
Baseball executive. He's got the hair.
Oh, man.
Exactly. Benji, you're right. He got 325 because he's 25.
Because he's 25. That's different. Yeah, exactly.
And that's why Boris played everybody. He waited until Yamamoto got that big 12-year deal, and it just piggybacks off of his other clients. I mean,
I don't think there's any.
Dr.
I don't
Billy
think
has
there's.
a point. Yeah,
I don't think there's that executives out there are stupid enough to buy into Boris's thing. I think they're going to wait Boris out.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he takes Snell into spring training. Watch, a starting pitcher is going to get hurt somewhere, and someone's going to go pay.
Yeah, and he knows that. Yeah,
he knows it exactly.
Yeah, he's working people for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why he waited all the way till the last minute on Yamamoto, got that 12 years that he wanted, and now he's piggybacking on all of his.
That's why I pushed back, saying that you cannot sit down with Boris and say, hey, let's work out a deal. It's all going to be, to a certain extent, not all on Boris's terms, but he drives a hard bargain.
He's just pissed off he didn't have Ohtani or Yamamoto.
Oh, yeah, could be.
That's a lot of money. Man, how would you like to be an agent on Ohtani? I wonder what the percentage they get on those. I know some things used to be as high as 10%. I don't know if
isn't that what Ned was saying? 10%? They get their 5 or 10%, something like that.
It's at least 5, but
still a lot of money. It's
dang. I wonder if the agent has to get paid in deferral too, or if he just has to come right off of the clients. Agents are like 1%, Bob Brad says. One. I think it's more like
1.
I think it's 5.
Might be 5, maybe 5. Yeah, 10 seems a bit high, doesn't it?
I don't know. How about if we Google it? How many votes we got? We got 70 votes.
Hey, look at that. You want me to kill it?
Let it go. Let it just sit there for a while. We got new people popping in.
True.
Let's see. How much?
Exactly. 5% of 700 million is ridiculous.
You know
Must
what's
be
so
nice.
frustrating about Farhan is that his Oakland A's teams overachieved and did pretty well based on a pretty low budget. Then he goes to the Dodgers. He has a bigger budget, and for the most part, under his watch and under his leadership, of course, with the help of the scouting department, who I think really is the brains of the team and the organization, he hits on more draft picks and they do well. And then he comes to the Giants, and yeah, he has a good year in 21 because everybody has a career year. And then, but since then, like his draft picks have been bad, his inability to trade have been bad. So it's frustrating. Like we talked about him all the time, but like he really had a pretty good resume with the A's and the Dodgers leading up to it. Like he wasn't completely an idiot, but he decided to become one when he came
Well,
here.
you know what? I'll tell you what, Alos, and to Dan's point, because Dan even brought this up, when he's at the Dodgers, he was a nobody anyways. He wasn't calling the shots. It was all Andrew Friedman.
Yeah.
He was just in the backseat. He's the equivalent of what Pete Petulio's doing now.
So the Giants hired the wrong guy from the Dodgers.
They hired the wrong guy.
They probably should have hired somebody else from there. They should have did their homework a little bit more.
Yeah, Larry Baer was all hung up on the Dodgers. And you know what? He should have realized he had a great guy in Brian Sabian, and he should have went out and, at that time, you know who was available when Farhan got hired?
I'm not sure.
Ned Colletti was available.
Well, there you go.
But
Wouldn't
Larry
that
Baer,
have been a seamless transition?
Larry Baer wanted to
He
go
learned that already.
away from old school. But Ned has said, he goes, I wrote a book on analytics. Ned knows analytics. All major league executives know analytics. It's
Maybe
just
Baer thought Ned Colletti was too close to Sabian. They were too similar. That's why he wanted to go
Probably.
away. Yeah.
Probably. They wanted rid of this. I'll tell you what, the ownership group, like any ownership group, they think they know more. It's like Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. He thought, I'll just bring in Switzer and he can make this thing keep going. Switzer won a championship based off of Jimmy's team. Switzer didn't do nothing. And then the Cowboys started falling apart. They haven't been the same since they let Jimmy Johnson go. We've seen other owners do it. They get these big heads. Ownership group, in my opinion, they thought Sabian got too much credit for the architect of building a championship. And then when they had a couple of rough years in 17 and 18, they said, we got to make a change. And they went completely away from anything related to what Sabian did and Bobby Evans. And they went all like a whole, they went total Moneyball, Billy Bean. They went to Farhan. He sold them a bill of goods. And it's been, a joke since. Let me tell you something, guys. I did this thing for you the other night on the minor leagues. The Giants are 5th in the National League West when it comes to baseball trade values of their minor leaguers. Today was the international signings. The Giants signed number 36 and number 44 prospects international ball. And we're supposed to get excited about that.
Oh, awesome.
While the Padres signed the number 1 prospect for the second year in a row. Second year in a row, the Padres got the number 1 prospect. And the Diamondbacks got the number 10 prospect. The Dodgers got the 14th prospect. And even the Rockies got the 17th. So Farhan and all of his connections and ability to get the minor leaguers, he ends up with number 36 and 44, which tells you the Giants are not spending the kind of money that's needed to get the top prospects.
Well, according to Giants for Life, Farhan's a genius because half the 2020 draft pick has made the roster. Great. They made the roster. What did they do?
Yeah,
Were any
exactly.
of them like above average, or were most of them
You
average?
can't.
but below average?
That can't be the standard that you use. That they just made it.
That's the standard that many Giants use. Is they
That's
just
the
need
problem.
to. This is basically lowering the expectations of before. Like you used to get a C grade, you needed
here we go.
to go to the next grade.
Harrison
Now it's
is the
down to
number
a
one
D.
left-handed pitching prospect. I get it.
So this
all
is
right?
what we're doing now. You made the roster, so you're a success. None of them are all-stars. None of them are first-team silver sluggers. I don't know if any of them are gold glovers. Harrison is the number one pitching prospect. Great. Who gives a crap? What has he done in the major league level yet? Dude, you are delusional. If you think Farhan is truly good at his job, I got some ice to sell you, man.
Hold on, let's see what he says. He
to
says,
tell
"I
you.
wouldn't say that he's a genius, but you guys are so hard on a guy who has left a team hard on a guy who was left a team that was in shambles. He brought in a coach who brought back to life to what?
Oh, he brought back. So Gabe Kapler brought Belt, Posey, and Crawford.
What are you
back to
talking
life.
about, man?
He
You know who that was?
All of a sudden, that was Farhan's.
You talking about Donnie Ecker, right?
Kapler.
Yeah, Donnie Ecker.
Donnie Ecker.
Exactly.
Who's
Donnie
with
Ecker
the
was
Giants
the
for
guy.
2 years. Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
left, and look what happened.
Understand English. Come on, dude. I wouldn't say he's a genius, but you guys are so hard on a guy who was left a team that was in shambles. You're gonna talk to me about English? Come on, dude.
His handle says it all. Giants for life. I get it. You're a lifelong Giants fan.
Come
So
on,
they
dude.
can never do any wrong, and you're wrong. They have done wrong. Their ownership has done it wrong. Farhan has done it wrong.
Just look at
his
what the
track
team has
record
done.
proves
Come
it,
on,
man.
just look what he's done.
Look at his
Look what
draft
he's done.
picks. Just
You
look at
got
his
1
draft picks.
year in 2021 that he's done anything, right? The rest of the years is what? 500 or less? And now we're going into year 6? Come on. That was a basic sentence. Okay, fair enough. That's what you think. You run with that, buddy. Go for it.
Send the link. Call the show. You don't
Yeah,
have to
you
show
want-
your face.
You could call in, man.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I mean,
You
we
could
can
call in. We
disagree.
got no problems if you want to call in and
Call
discuss
in.
what you think. Let's hear what you think.
You prove
What has
us wrong.
Farhan done that has been so spectacular that you want to support the guy? Again, just because you're a San Francisco Giants fan doesn't mean you blindly lead when people are failing. You could just look to see what's going on. I mean, you don't have to have this blind loyalty just because he's got the SF that you automatically got to support the guy. Come on.
So when the Giants were in the playoff hunt last year, they were probably the number 2 wild card team. 13 games over 500. Other teams that were competing against them all made trades, significant trades to improve their team. Farhan didn't sell off and get younger prospects to get better. And his one move to try to improve the team was A.J. Pollock, a washed-up, has-been outfielder. If you think that's good GM, like I said, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. Respectfully.
All right, let's take a look at this. The top 50 international prospects that signed. Leo de Vries, shortstop, Dominican Republic, Padres, $4.2 million. Rangers, look at that. And the Braves, look at that. Cubs, Reds, remember where LED La Cruz went to. Mets, Mariners, Twins. Number 9 is not signed yet. Now, if the Giants can get this guy, hey, then I'll take my words back. But number
There's
10,
got to be a reason why he didn't sign because everyone else passed him up too.
D-backs. It could be that he's money. It could be a money situation. Herrera, okay. Dodgers get the 14th, a shortstop, Emil Morales. 17th, Ashley Andujar, short. Man, they're all shortstops.
There's been a lot of shortstops lately.
The Giants go down to 36 and get a catcher, Yoendry Sanchez, for $1 million, and then number 44, an infielder, Johnny Level.
An infielder, they don't specifically say what he is.
Yeah.
That right there bothers me. He doesn't even have a position. They just call him an infielder. Oh my God. Hey, Giants for life. Great one. We got a guy that's an infielder.
Hey, Dan, I'll let you take this one.
Let me take a look.
Wow.
What do we got? All right. Let me read this out. I got to blow it up. Giants for life. Why don't you just change your name to Farhan for life? It sounds like you're a Farhan lover. Say if you're a Giants for life guy, you would love Sabian. He came in 97 and promptly won the division, won 8 straight winning seasons. Come on. How long? You probably weren't even following the Giants in 97, I bet.
15 years of not winning.
Giants got what? 15 years of not winning and never built the best team in any of the years they won the title.
15 years of not winning.
And then left the team in shambles. Giants for life, I don't think you know baseball too well.
And he's saying we don't know anything about baseball. And he's going to come out here and say 15 years of not winning. Come on, man. You knew that was coming. Come on, man. Don't
listen to this.
Come on.
Okay. Sabian took over in 97. Took over a 94-loss team in 96.
Ooh.
Promptly makes trades of Matt Williams, gets Jeff Kent, JT Snow, and others to come. Wins the division 98, 97. 98 loses a one-game playoff to get into the wild card of the Cubs. 99 is in the division hunt till up to the very end. 2000, they win the division. First year of Pac Bell Park at the time. 01, Arizona wins it all. Bonds hits the record 73 home runs. 02, they go to the World Series. Should have won it. 03, they won 100 games, won the division. 04, they had a big winning record again. Didn't make the playoffs because there wasn't 18 wild card teams. Had they been in today's format, Brian Sabian would have made the playoffs 8 straight years, his first 8 years. Then they go into a downturn. 04 or 05, 06, 07, 08. That's 4 years. But what was Sabian doing during that time, Giants for life? He was drafting guys like
he's some kind of a Dodgers.
Yeah, Matt Cain in 02. Yeah, and then he drafted
it's got to be
Lincecum. And he drafted Mad Bum and Posey.
He's just stirring it up. He can't be that.
And he drafted in 02 in the international market, Pablo Sandoval. And then he got Belt and Crawford and Panic. What did he do? He won 3 World Series titles.
in 5 years.
In 5 years. And he had a winning season. He had 4 losing seasons. 05, 6, 7, and 8. That's it. That's it. And then he steps down. Bobby Evans takes over. And in 17, 18, they go on a downturn and they bring in Farhan. And what has Farhan done, Giants for life? It's built through the draft. Yes. Thanks for proving my point. Along with some key free agent signings and trades.
And now he's walking back. I thought you said Sabian was a bad guy. Now you're saying, oh yeah, he drafted and nailed most of the first rounders. So I thought you just said Sabian didn't know what he was doing and he'd had 15 years of losing and left the team in shambles. Come on, dude. You can't have it both ways, buddy.
You definitely should get for life with those comments. And I'm not talking about baseball either.
Come on, dude.
For life.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth there, buddy.
Yeah, that's pretty anal, man. But whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
I bet he's probably about 23, 24. Became a Giants fan in 2010.
Yeah,
I can almost guarantee it.
He's new to the show because if he had seen all the Farhan picks that we've gone through since he came to the Giants, all of them. 6 years worth of maybe over 140, 150 picks. And like 4 or 5 of them made the 20, one from the 20 team made the roster. And he's considering that a success. None of them have been successful yet. That's hilarious. Hunter Bishop wishes you well, bro.
Whatever. and it's funny how he talks about draft picks, because how many draft picks could have Farhan picked up if he traded Rodon?
They're just defensive because they said they don't
know.
know ball. Now they want to hammer me. Come on, Giants for life. You're a clown. You don't know ball, period. Now,
if you're really saying that Farhan is better than Sabian, you're going to look at us with a straight face and say, you know ball better than us.
I guarantee you if I opened up
Farhan is better than Sabian.
I guarantee you if I opened this up, he wouldn't come in and challenge us.
He wouldn't.
I guess
he's not going to call. He's not going to call in.
He's probably one of those guys on Twitter that was giving me a hard time, and he, whatever.
I guess Kapler's better than Bochy too, right? Right? Hey, I mean, they go together. Farhan hired Kapler, right?
He said never said that, but you guys are hammering him. Hammering who? Farhan? Okay.
My kids are asleep. I ain't going to call into your show. Sure. Okay.
What did he say?
Yeah,
his kids are asleep. He's not going to call in.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's fine. That's fine. You know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I would like for him sometime to come in, and we'll have a civil conversation.
Sure.
And I would like for him to explain, because what Farhan, he says, Farhan, he was handed a terrible roster and farm system. Okay.
Where's the farm system right now? Where's it ranked right now?
But Giants for life, let me ask you this. He was handed a terrible farm system. What has he done with the 5? How many drafts has he had? He had 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. He's had 5 drafts.
Correct.
He's had 5 drafts. What has he done to build the farm system? If you saw our show last week, and I could put it up for you right now, but the Giants are 5th in the National League in terms of their minor league ratings. The Padres are the top, followed by the D-backs, then the Rockies, Dodgers, and Giants. And it's not even close. It's not even close.
Giants for life might be the world famous Max Rizito that we've gone back and forth with on Kruk and Kite.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's his AKA, because that sounds awfully like Max Rizito, who defends Farhan at every single moment he can.
I don't understand what people see in Farhan as far as the minor leagues. Okay, take away everything how he's constructed the roster. Look at his drafts. They're dead last in the National League with the top 10 guys. Point total is 79.7. The top of the Padres 10 is 212. And then it's 149 for the Diamondbacks. And then it's like 120 something for the Rockies and 112 for the Dodgers, and then 79 for the Giants. I mean, he's not even keeping up with the guys that are, the Padres traded away their top 4 guys in their farm system for Juan Soto. And now their farm system has 7 in the top 100. What does that tell you? It tells you somebody.
It's one thing to back Farhan, but when you say Sabian didn't do anything in 15 years, you lost all credibility on this show. And that is just such a horrible, bad, unfactual comment. Brian Sabian did nothing in 15 years.
15 years. That's what he said. And then he said, "Oh yeah, he nailed the draft every time." What? So what is it, man? Come on.
There's this thing called the internet. Just go ahead and punch in Brian Sabian and look at his resume with the Giants and come back and apologize to all of us. It's okay. People make mistakes. We'll forgive you.
Mark booted him.
Mark booted him?
Wasted enough 10 minutes of our time. Seriously.
All right.
Troll. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Come back another time when your kids are awake and call us. We love you.
He's just got to. Okay. The ultimate goal is winning a title. Sabian had the best player in baseball history, and they never got it done. So, yeah, it took him. Okay. What? Giants for life. Let me tell you something. They did not lose the World Series in 2002 because of Barry Bonds or because of Brian Sabian. They were, 5 outs away
Oh my God.
from winning the World Series, Game 6, and it got away from them. That has nothing to do with Sabian. The fact that they got there, Bonds would have been the MVP had they won that game. And they got there because of Barry Bonds and pitching and other key players on that team. Jeff Kent. Wasn't Burks on that team in 2002? Who was trying to remember. I think he was. I can't. But Sabian made great signings, great trades. Weren't always blockbuster trades, but he knew how to build a team. I don't think maybe Burks was gone by then. Reggie
we
Sanders.
need to pay attention to the rest of the chat. We're giving him too much attention.
Yeah.
Hey, but it's fun.
Definitely.
I'll say that. It makes it for a fun show. Got to give them that.
Giants for life, laughing out loud. No, Burks was not on the team until So, but yeah, I mean, to say that Sabian did nothing, he took over a 94-loss team and turned it around in 1 year. 1 year. Geez.
Yeah.
Matthew,
No, you're good, Matt. You're good. You're good, Matt.
If you're talking, you're in. So anyway, that's pretty hilarious. So we move on. Yeah. Farhan paying him.
Dan, I want to touch on something before Mr. Life came in that you mentioned that I don't know if we've ever talked about on the show, and it's kind of a pattern. You mentioned about Larry Bear and how he moved off of people, and it just kind of struck a nerve and a chord with me. Like, if you really think about it, Larry Bear came off of, or the organization came off of Dusty Baker right after the 2002 World Series, correct? He went to the Cubs.
Yep.
Okay, so Dusty Baker was pretty successful here. Okay, didn't win a World Series, but all in all, since Cease took over, pretty successful. He came off of him. Then he comes off of Sabian, and then he comes off of Bochy. So there seems to be a pattern here with Bear and the front office of the old mantle. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, you're coming off of proven winners when the Giants were winning. And this front office with Bear, kind of an important piece of it, continues to come off of it all the way back to Dusty Baker. So this is not like we talked mainly about, coming off of Bochy, coming off of Sabian, giving us Farhan. But if you go further back, he also came off of Dusty Baker. And if I really think about it, there's probably a few other people.
I think that was Sabian that came off of Baker. That was an issue between.
Was that more of a Sabian thing?
Yeah, that was more
so?
of a Sabian thing. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But it was.
Do you think they didn't get along?
They were having some issues, or something was going on. Not sure if it was contract or what it was.
It
But yeah. So, but that's he turned it around in a different generation of the game. He turned it around in the generation the game was being played. What do you want him to do? Like, become 30 years ahead of the game? He played. He did what he had to do in the generation of the game. And you know what? It's going back to the way it was. I mean, they're getting away from a lot of the things. Farhan built a team around all this, trying to get the launch angle and the swing and all the power guys. And now the game's going back to athleticism and speed and Farhan has none of it. So here's Farhan, the guy who's supposed to be forward-thinking, ahead of his time, leading the way. He's the architect of analytics, and now the game's turning back toward speed and athleticism. We saw the Arizona Diamondbacks get all the way to the World Series because of speed and athleticism. It wasn't a ton of power that the Diamondbacks had. And it flipped real quick with the advent of the pitch clock and the bigger bags. So, yeah.
Banning the shift to an extent.
Yep, banning the shift. Exactly. Who said athletes? What are we talking about? Who's saying what? Okay, it's a boring show. Guess what? You're gone for good. See ya. We'll never hear from you again. Bye. I just banned you for life. Huh?
You didn't have to do that. I'd like to hear what he had to say.
He said he can get back to our boring show.
Whatever.
I don't.
That's his own opinion.
It's one of the Twitter trolls. I'm tired of it. Gone. We don't need you. Bye.
I mean, man, the Sabian comment is really just like, yeah, that's just a dude that wants to stir up the pot.
Yeah, we booted him.
And
He's happy ass is gone.
Mission accomplished. He stirred us up for sure.
Yeah, he got me stirred. Yeah. No more Giants for life. Come up with a new troll name. Come in here and smack again with under a different name, and you'll get the same outcome. Don't need subs like you. Don't need clowns like you, whoever you were. So,
oh man.
Anyway, gone. All right, so let's. Yeah, Eric, we can't. You can't take crap like that from people like that.
Yeah, I just like going at him.
Well, it was fine until he said, "I'm gonna let you go back."
I mean,
the boring
that,
show.
I mean,
so I what I knew from that is he's not a friend of the show.
Of course not. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people on here probably aren't friends of the show, but whatever. I just like going at them. That's just me.
Yeah, I like making them look foolish.
Well, he'll be back under a different name.
I'm sure he will.
But if he crosses the line and disrespects the show or anybody else in the chat, then that's where.
Yeah, that's a different story. If he's calling people names and doing that's a different story. But
yeah.
But. The chat seemed to want him gone anyway. So
Eddie K, I love
it. Yeah, never co-sign a troll. Yeah. So how many? We've only banned 2 people in the whole life of the show. What was that other guy's name?
Mario.
Maybe it was Mario.
Maybe. Could be.
That might have been Mario.
That might have been Mario. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. That could be
Mario Titanic.
Yep.
Mario Titanic. I think the guy who's had about 30 different jobs in 30 years as a basketball coach.
It could be him.
What does that say about Mario as a baskball coach?
Yeah.
The guy constantly has to, and he's an assistant.
I remember Mario.
He's only an assistant coach. He's only been the head man a couple times.
I forgot all about good old Mario. That might have been him.
That might have been Mario Titanic. Matthew says, "What did Mario do?" Oh, he was
what a handle.
He was the biggest pain in the you know what ever.
Who, Mario?
Yeah. Don't you remember him, Los? I don't know if you.
Yeah, I do. He came at Dan.
Yeah. He came at you too. Yeah, that's right. I remember.
And then he just carried it over to here. And you know what? Hey, that's okay. If like people want to disagree with us, that's fine. Like we're not up here and
exactly. Everyone has their own opinion. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what makes this country great. We come on here and we debate respectfully about different topics in sports, and that's okay. That's okay.
Like that.
That's absolutely okay. Like I have no problem with somebody disagreeing with something that I said or anybody else says up here. Just when you present your case, you better present it with a few good points or facts, or we will definitely go back.
Yeah,
and forth.
exactly.
So
I blocked
Spot
Mario
on,
on
Rhys.
Twitter.
Spot on.
I blocked Mario on Twitter too. Yeah. Yeah, he loved to just be an antagonist. Brian Iglesias says, "What's worse, being called a clown or a troll?" What do you guys think?
To me, it doesn't bother me either way. I mean,
apples and oranges.
You're a clown,
Really?
Eric. You're a clown. You know what? I can't have clowns on my show. All right.
What is technically the definition of a troll? Is that just somebody that just likes getting under people's skin for any reason?
I guess something. Whatever.
You know what? We'll find out here.
If that's true, then give me a clown, because at least a clown will make me laugh from time to time.
Or they'll scare the living shit out of you. Either or.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some good clown horror movies over the years.
What do we got here? Definition of a troll. An ugly creature depicted as either a giant or a dwarf. Well, let's see what the. Oh, here. This is more up to date here.
Intentionally antagonizes others. Yeah. I'll take a clown.
Irrelevant or offensive or other disruptive. There you go.
In the late 80s, internet users dropped the word troll to denote someone who intentionally disrupts online communities. Oh, okay. There we go. That's what Giants for Life did. Okay. Yeah. He just comes in and pisses on anything against the flow.
Some people love doing that. They just love getting that rise. That's fine.
Maybe
I'll play into it every so often, but it is what it is.
So last week I said something maybe slightly a little bit controversial that maybe most of the chat was against me. And if that's the case, I'm okay with that. I said, and I'll repeat it again, that I am okay with the Giants doing nothing at all. Snell, Bellinger, Chapman, nothing. And riding with all their young guys this year. And if they lose 90 to 100 games, fine. I'm more like 2025 when the free agent class is going to be better, when our young guys will have experience and maybe they'll get better and maybe we can be a relevant team again. So if most of you are against me on that, I'm okay with that. If some of you are with me, let me know if you're okay.
That was great.
Let me know if you're okay with watching the young guys play. And if they lose a lot of games, so be it.
You know what?
Are you okay with that?
I am 100%.
The reason I asked that is because we're always talking about.
I'm 100% okay with that.
Yeah,
I've either said,
I'm fine.
Pick a lane. Pick a lane.
Yeah.
Just pick your dang lane. Whether you go in the slow lane or the fast lane. Get out of the stinking middle lane.
Right.
I've had it with the middle lane. Either move to the right and let everybody pass, including the Rockies, and rebuild this thing, or get in the fast lane and try and compete with the Dodgers, which you could do if you signed a couple of starting pitchers like Snell, and I'm not for the Snell signing long-term, okay? I don't want Snell for umpteen years. I'd rather pay Snell for a shorter term and a higher AAV. I'm okay with, 3-4 years if you want to pay him $35+ million a year, but I'm not paying $30 million a year for 7 years. Forget it. But if you want to get me Montgomery and Snell, and you want to get me Bellinger and Soler or Hoskins, and have a couple of bats, and then you get into the playoffs, and you've got Webb and Snell and Montgomery and or Harrison or whoever, or Cobb, and that works itself out, and you get into the bullpen and you have a shutdown bullpen, you get to the 6th inning and you go with the Rogers, and then you Rogers, and then you hit him with Hicks in the 8th and Duvall in the 9th. Mm-hmm. That can win you some series. I'm telling you. I don't care who the Dodgers have. We saw the Diamondbacks shut down the Dodgers last year with good pitching.
Good pitching. They came on strong. I was a little bit worried about Gallen because he was looking bad, but When it turned to October, he seemed to do well.
But
Can
get in the
anybody-
lane. Get in the lane. Get out of that stinking 80-win middle lane. That is middle of the road.
Go to
I'm
the
with
right
Los. Pick the dang right side of the lane and go lose you 95 games a year and see what you got. Develop guys, or get in the fast lane and try and win 90 games and get into the playoffs.
Can anybody think of a recent baseball team that kind of went with that philosophy? Just a lot of young guys, a lot of people that really had no big names yet, and they actually contended and did well. I was trying to think about that while I was waiting to ask the question. And I mean, for the most part, their pitching staff has pretty big names, but the Diamondbacks lineup, I mean, was it really superstar? Corbin Carroll is now a superstar.
Now
but
he
he
is.
wasn't at the beginning of the year.
No.
Is that fair?
He was on the verge.
600
right?
at bats, and he was on the verge. Yeah. So I think there's recent history,
Orioles.
and off the top of my head, I can't think of it, where just a team goes with a lot of young guys and a
Holy
lot
smokes.
like 21.
Los Orioles. They got
Yeah.
to the
Yeah, I think
the
there's
Royals
one.
in 2014 and 2015 had a lot of young guys. Good.
Look,
Good.
let's think about this, guys. The 2021 Giants, we've agreed, they got lightning in a bottle, and a lot of their veterans had career years, right? A lot of their veterans had all good years all at the same time. Why is it not possible that a lot of young guys that are given a chance to play every day, maybe not in April and May, but right around June, they start getting better and better? And what's to say they don't put it together and do something? And ownership should love it because it doesn't cost a lot. And now our young guys are winning. That's win-win. And if they lose, okay, they lose, but they learned. Let's build for 25. That's my way of going.
Hey, I listened to Spencer Steer on MLB radio last week, and I think I mentioned it, but he said his 22 season, he got 100 at bats when he got called up. He got traded to the Reds. I don't know where he was with organization he was with prior, but don't remember the trade. But he said those 100 bats help him make adjustments in the offseason, and he came back. The Giants give nobody enough at bat. They sent Casey Schmidt down until the very last week of the season, and they bring him up, and then, he hits a couple of home runs the last game of the season. They didn't give Ramos a chance at all, so you have no idea what Ramos could do. What happens if Ramos becomes Adolis Garcia?
That's what I'm saying. But to do that, you can't hold on to guys like Yaz and Slater that are
I
blocking
know.
bats.
gosh,
one
they-
or both of them need to
I
go.
know.
So Ramos could be an everyday right fielder.
Yeah,
I
they
think
block.
that guy would be a solid player. I really do. I really think Ramos would be a solid player if he played a lot. He's got all the physical tools. Now he needs
Thanks,
the
Matt.
backing of his organization.
Yeah. See, that's
Confidence is everything in a young guy. Everything.
that is the whole dang problem with Farhan. It's all his freaking analytics, and he will not give guys a chance. I mean, you think Elliot Ramos, the way they I don't know. I got to get off the Giants right now. I'm getting pissed off just talking about Farhan. I really am. He just pisses me off because he doesn't even have a clue, because he doesn't understand the psyche of a player. What do you think you do to a player every time you send him up and down, up and down, up and down? Yaz, before he got hot in his 2019 season, was just about ready to be sent down again. And he had gone up and down, and he finally just said, you know what? I just got to try and just have fun. And
Ben is saying that Ramos got a chance after Haniger was hurt. I mean, he started 2 straight games and he went 1 for 8. Like, to me, that's not giving a guy a chance.
That's not. Come on.
I don't want to go to my phone and look it up, but I would almost guarantee.
When Willie Mays came up, he went 0 for 20 or something like that, right?
Right,
His first,
Right. Yeah, I would almost
Not
bet.
saying he's the next Willie Mays. I'm just saying baseball is a little bit different than some of these other sports.
I would almost bet that after Haniger got hurt, Ramos got maybe 3 starts in a week. But I mean, I'm talking about start a guy every day for 2 weeks, every single game. So your definition of giving a guy a chance, and I think the facts, I think are a little bit different. He didn't have a lot of at bats, so I don't think he was really truly given a chance.
Is this what you mean here by been given a solid chance? 76 lifetime at bats.
And that's over what, 3 years? Something like that?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years. 76 at bats. How do you get into a groove with 76 at bats over 2 seasons? And if we look at his minor league stats, they're quite different. He's hitting 265 as opposed to 158 with 2,132 at bats. He's got 72 home runs. He's got
25 years old is still young to me, Bub.
But as far as
who's
like
25?
baseball,
Who's 25?
Well, Bub is saying they're not even young guys anymore. They're
some
all
of the guys that we
25.
have aren't really young. They're
Well,
mid-
look how old Elliot Ramos is, guys.
he's 23. He's young.
He's
Oh,
24.
he's going to be 24. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he's getting up there. They're missing opportunity. They had an opportunity to play him a lot last year. They didn't do it.
Well, this is an
Year before that-
organization that took a chance on Mike Yastrzemski when he was 27. They traded for him. He finally
Yeah,
got a
it's weird,
chance,
right?
and he worked out. So you're going to take a chance on a guy from another organization at 27, but you're not going to invest in your 23, 24-year-old player? Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Come on. What are we doing? Think about it. Just give the guy a chance. Give him 100, 150 at-bats to start the season. See what he does.
Yeah, exactly.
And righties and lefties. I don't care. Don't just play him against lefties, because we all know lefties are about 25% of pitchers in baseball. So if you just do that and you platoon him, which is what Farhan likes to do, then he's not going to play every day. Let him play against righties. Let him know and recognize sliders from righties and curveballs and know how to go the other way. That guy has power going the other way.
Exactly, Vespa. It's kind of tough for guys to
Learn the
rack up at
game.
bats when they get pitch hit from the
On
fifth
the
inning.
job training.
Yeah, OJT. Exactly. That's how you learn.
I'm telling you, if they come off of Joey Bart, which I know they will, I'm telling you, he's gonna hit some. I just got a good feeling he is.
All right,
He has too much
let's cut baseball. We've gone an hour, a little over an hour on baseball. Let's go to the NFL. Let's talk weekend football. What was the game of the surprise of the week for you, Los?
It's easy. How about them Cowboys? One of the most beautiful games I've seen in a long time. Not a surprise that Green Bay played well. A tiny bit of surprise that they won. Shocking that they just completely annihilated. It was such a meltdown on so many different levels for Dallas. They got a lot of changes and a lot of decisions to make in the coming days and weeks. Philly losing, not surprising. Everything pretty much went to plan. I think maybe Houston, it was a slight upset for a lot of people that thought Cleveland was a legitimate contender, but I thought Flacco was playing on borrowed time. I didn't believe in him, and CJ Stroud is just one hell of a talent. So everything I think went pretty much according to plan, with the exception of the Cowboys. No shock there.
Yeah, I picked all 6 winners. I did not have Houston demolishing Cleveland, but it was fun to see. You actually had a pretty reversal when it came to Texas. You went with the stepsister in the Houston Texans.
Best team in Texas.
Yeah, best team in Texas to the
I'm going to send that to my Cowboy friends.
To Big Daddy Dallas, taking it on the chin big time. Tale of 2 different cities there, 2 different outcomes. Wow. I mean, that was remarkable. What was the final? Houston, was it 45-14 or
45-14?
And at one time it was 48-16. The Cowboys were down 48-16 with 6 minutes left.
Crazy.
So
Congrats to longtime sub and friend of the show, Will Martinez, on his Tampa Bay Bucks advance.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Will, good job, Tampa Bay. Now you get Detroit. I think maybe it might end there. I mean, I have the whole thing set up. I got the Lions and the Niners meeting up. And then in the AFC, I've got I was going to go Buffalo, Baltimore, but I'm going to think on this one with Houston.
I would love to see what the weather's going to be like in Baltimore, because if it's pretty decent weather, don't count out Houston. Stroud moved the ball against Cleveland. It's got a really good defense. So Baltimore is not that good against the run. They haven't really been taking advantage of it. But I'm not crazy about Houston's running back Singletary. I don't know if he can take advantage of that. But
Will's looking at Super Bowl tickets for Vegas. Is that you're going to go? You're looking to go see the Niners, or is he thinking? He's not thinking Bucks, is he? Is he looking at?
He's thinking Bucks. He's thinking Bucks.
Will,
the buck stops here, buddy.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
Will. You're not getting by the Lions. No, in all seriousness, I'm currently looking at flights for Detroit. Tickets for the game are crazy. Oh, he's a big fan. He is a big, big fan. Will, don't do it. You'll be so disappointed. You'll be all bummed that you spent all that thousands of dollars, and Detroit will mop up your Bucks. I hate to say it, but I think the Lions are on a roll. The Lions are a team that I said a couple weeks ago on Larry's show. What's the one team they said scared? And it was the Lions because of their ability to run the ball and pass the ball. They have good receivers, a great receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown, and a great tight end in Sam Laporta, and capable receivers in Jamison Williams now, and also the other kid, gosh, why am I forgetting his name? He used to be with the Rams. What's the other Lions receiver?
Reynolds?
Josh Reynolds. So I think they could be a tough team. I don't think Green Bay is going to be an easy team to beat. The Niners need to get up on them and get up on them early, first quarter. Don't let them hang around in the game. Novato, Jared Goff.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm going to try and get Jared on the show if they come to San Francisco. I don't know if he'll be able to do it during the week of coming on, but I do have Jared's contact information. He is a friend of my brother's. My brother is in communication with him. Jared's a really good guy. If anybody other than the Niners are going to go to the Super Bowl, I'd love to see Jared Goff make it.
It'd be a Cinderella team, right? Detroit would be considered a Cinderella team.
Well, since they've never been to the Super Bowl, they're one of only 4 teams, I believe. Let's see. Wow. Can you name the teams that have never appeared in the Super Bowl? I can think of 3 off the top of my head.
Never appeared in the Super Bowl?
Never appeared.
Detroit is one.
Yeah. There's 2 teams and they both haven't made it and they played each other.
Jacksonville is 2.
2. And there's 2 other teams that played each other Saturday.
Browns. Everyone's saying Browns.
Browns.
And the Texans.
Yep, that's 4. I think that is all of them. Let me just double check the standings because I'm pretty sure.
God, I almost said the Cardinals, but they got in there 1 year.
Yeah.
You almost got me, Gonzo. I was looking at that. I was like, what the hell? You speaking
Cleveland,
French?
Jacksonville, Houston.
Carolina. Oh, no. Carolina made it, too.
Those are the 4 teams. That's it. You got them all. Who of that four will be the next team to get in? Will it be the Texans, Lions, Jags, or Browns? No, the Chargers have made it a couple times.
How about make it harder? Who's going to be out of the four? Who's going to win it?
Or the Yeah, that's another one I was going to ask. Chargers. I don't know if the Chargers go twice or once.
Yet.
They went 90. What the Chargers go? They went twice, didn't they?
I'm not sure.
Wait, did the Chargers go twice or once to the Super Bowl? Why am I thinking they played in 90? Didn't they play the Niners in 94 season?
Who's that?
Chargers?
Yes, in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I think maybe that is the only one they made.
Stan Humphries was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only Super Bowl the Chargers have made.
So is it going to be I'll tell you the team I'm going to take next year, and I told this to Los tonight. The early team I'm going to take next year to be if I'm betting early and the odds are what I think they'll be. Hopefully they don't keep winning this year and blow the odds. I think the Packers are going to be a team to beat in the coming years. Do you know their model is so good? Do you know when Brett Favre, they drafted Aaron Rodgers in 2005. Rodgers sat the 2005 season, the 2006 season, and the 2007 season. 3 years. They traded Favre to the Jets. Rodgers steps in 2008. They go 8-8. In 2009, they had one of the best playoff games. I was there in the end zone. It went overtime. It was like a 45. It was like 45-45. It was a shootout, and it was just awesome. And they lost in overtime, but they were the youngest team in football, the Packers. They came back in 2010 and won the Super Bowl as the youngest team. Right now, the Packers are, if not the youngest team, one of the youngest teams. And they have unbelievable players at the skill positions. They've got like 3 or 4 or 5 really good receivers. I mean, so it's like all the receivers, it's like, which one do which one do you shadow? Because anyone can beat you. Like Jaden Reed, a week ago, before to get into the playoffs, he had like 100 and some odd yards. Yesterday, he didn't do anything. So you got all these great receivers, the Packers. They got 2 tight ends. They drafted the kid Musgrave, and then he gets hurt, and then Tucker Kraft comes in, does really well. You got a really, really good quarterback. You got a good offensive line. You got good defensive players coming on. I think, the Packers are going to be a team to be reckoned with. And I think one of the things happened yesterday with the Packers thrashing the Niners. I think it wakes up the Niners. Did I say Niners?
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Packers thrashing Cowboys. I mean, I think the Niners are I think it's a wake-up call for them to be ready.
They have to watch that tape and take them completely serious.
Okay, ask a question for you guys. How do the Packers beat the Niners?
Get out ahead of them.
Get up early on them, and the panic as a higher seed starts to come in. And like what happened with Dallas, and things start to get forced. Like what happened with Dallas, they started forcing the ball, and more interceptions happen and more turnovers happen. They started pressing. And that's why I told Dan, Kyle Shanahan needs to do something that he's not used to doing, which is if he wins the coin toss, don't defer like he always does and play the first half, second half, double end. He needs to go old school. He needs to take the ball, go right down the field, score 7-0, and take that swag away from that young team. That young team has a lot of confidence and a lot of arrogance right now after what they did to Dallas. But everybody that is really scared of the Packers has got to remember one thing. Green Bay did not have to worry about Dallas's run game, and they're going to have to worry about it. the Niners should be able to put up 37 to 40 points on this Packers defense. It's not a good defense. They have like 3 good players, but Shanahan should be able to pick them apart. They really should. Now, the Packers
And here's a
offense
question.
definitely can do something.
I know football is different than baseball, but is there anything to the momentum that Green Bay has generated, beating the Cowboys as bad as they did on their home turf? You know, and now the Niners have been off for a week. Do you put anything into it? Because, you know, with baseball, you know, we kind of talked about that during the playoffs. Some of these higher seeded teams kind of suffered a bit by not playing. Do the Niners have that same type of worry?
Absolutely.
For them?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, we saw it in the 21 season. The Packers had the number 1 seed. They had the week off. The Niners went in hot into the playoffs. Is that the week they beat Dallas in Dallas, I think? And then they went to Green Bay on that Saturday night, Los? Is that 21 season, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 21 season. They ended up going into Green Bay as the 7th seed, beat Green Bay on a Saturday night, and then they went into LA for the championship, and that was the game the Niners had, and they let get away with a couple of big mistakes. The Jaquiski Tart dropped interception that might have helped seal it. A couple of bad decisions. Jimmy, just conservative. Just, I don't know. It was just
Definitely
all in
Green
all.
Bay wants payback for that. They were the top seed at that time.
Well, this is what concerns me. The scenarios are kind of weird. You know, it's a little bit. I don't think, but you know what? I thought that Niner team was good enough to go in and beat Green Bay. I don't know if Green Bay really is. I think they're good, but I don't think the Niners will let down because they have. I think this Niners team knows this is. You're getting close to your window closing with some of these guys.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think these guys, and I think these guys know it. I think guys like, you know, Trent Williams know that. Eric Armstead know that. Fred Warner, even though he's got more years, knows that this team may not be the same next year. And he's got these guys so fired up. I think the Niners come out with a vengeance in a mentally focused. You'll see a difference between what a Niner team comes out and plays like versus a Dallas team. And you're going to look at that and you say, what do you attribute that to? You're going to attribute it to the character in the room, the coaching staff, and the players that want it. I think Dallas, I don't like their makeup of their team, their characters. I think you saw it in CeeDee Lamb all day from the beginning of the game was bickering with Dak Prescott. You know, like, get me the ball, and he's whining. At one point, Dak Prescott told him enough. He either said enough or shut up. I can't remember. I think he said enough. I heard there was no camera on it, but you could tell they were looking at each other. And then not long after that, Dak tries to force the ball to CeeDee Lamb because CeeDee Lamb, you know, is in Zach's ear every play. And so Dak, feeling pressure, got to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb, and it's a pick six. So I don't like the character of Dallas at all.
No, not at all. But Rounder, I'll respond to your comment. The reason why I think that is because a playoff game is completely different from a regular season game. There's a lot of pressure when it comes to the playoffs. And I just think that if you notice, Green Bay won the coin toss last week, and they didn't do what every team does and defer. They took the ball, and they went out and scored. They sent a big message out on that opening drive, a huge message. So if you defer and you're saying, well, you don't do that when you have a top-ranked defense. Yeah, I know the Niners have a very good defense, but they haven't played in 3 weeks. And Green Bay's better unit is the offense, not their defense. So you're giving the ball to their better unit. If they go down the field against this number one ranked defense and score a touchdown, boy, that's an opening shot. And then people might start
all the
pressing.
confidence, and it's like,
I
here
know
we go
the Niners
again.
don't have the same. I know the Niners have more composure. I'm not saying Purdy is that, but I'm just saying that crowd will be a little stunned and it'll be like, oh boy, these boys are here to play. Now, conversely, if the Niners take the ball and go right down the field and score, it's going to be like, oh shit, this isn't Dallas. They went right through us pretty easily, and they ran the ball, hopefully, on that drive. This is a different animal. So I like scoring first in playoffs. I've watched Walsh's teams play for 20 years, and that formula worked very well. Go down, score 7-0, 3 and out, get the ball back 14-0. Pretty much game is almost in hand. So respectfully disagree. I would like to see the ball first.
Who has the advantage in rain? Packers or Niners?
That's a great question.
Because it's supposed to rain 5 days straight starting on Friday.
That might be more Green Bay weather. It might be.
Yeah. Plus a lot of rain coming.
You could pound the ball with Aaron Jones if they can get a running game going. Purdy has not played well in the rain before with the ball slips. I don't know. Gosh.
Jimmy says
it's not a heavy rain though. It's not a heavy rain. It's pretty much a light rain all day.
I don't know. They said it's supposed to rain like starting on Friday, like 5 days straight.
Great. I don't like that. I don't like rain games because the footing is wrong and just like a lot of weird things can happen. It's kind of like the horse races. When you make it a muddy track, then the slower horses can catch up to the faster horses.
You taking a gander at it, Dan?
The Niners are the better team.
Okay.
I don't like a mud game.
I'm just looking at the weather here on my phone here. The thing about the that was a weird weather game that night in Green Bay too, Saturday night, wasn't it? That in 21.
That was in 21. It was snowing like crazy.
All right, 96% chance of rain on Friday. That means in the morning, steady rain in the afternoon. Chance of rain 100%. It's saying rainfall 1/2 inch on Friday. Saturday, overcast with showers at times.
Good.
Chance of rain about 60%. So at times you might get some rain a little bit early. The
field should be fine. They'll cover it.
The field will be covered. And you know what? Did you guys notice? One thing I've noticed is here in Arizona, we got this retractable roof, retractable field. The field is a grass field, goes in and out of the stadium. Every game that's played in Arizona, the footing is awful. You see guys just slip the turf coming up. You don't see that like that at Levi's. I don't know if it's just they got a better drainage system or what it is.
Maybe.
Definitely drains better than Candlestick.
Oh gosh. So
they were below sea level on that stadium.
Yeah. The rounder earlier, I had the comment up. He said I was
Dan,
crazy.
you're crazy. Yeah.
I don't know what I was talking about. What was that, rounder? What I think I was talking about something about the Niners and Green Bay was the subject at the time. But when people say I'm crazy, I always wonder what comment.
Victor. He said Green Bay receivers. That's okay.
You don't think their receivers are good or what?
Green Bay's receivers are young, but they're pretty good.
Dobbs had a hell of a game. Huh?
Yeah.
Dobbs, Reed, Watson, Wicks. Then there's another kid that's playing. Those young receivers are very they're decent, nothing to fear. I'll tell you what, Rounder, when you get a group of young guys that have nothing to fear and they're playing loose, you have a lot to fear because they're playing with house money. And Green Bay's going to come in here just like they did Dallas, believing they could win, not, young enough to not realize what they're really going up against. They're going to believe, and if they get out to a lead, they get all the more confidence. And you know what? If you got a lead and you're young and you're faster and you're more
They're younger.
hungry, you're brash, you believe you can knock off a Goliath. Oh,
That's why I want to get up on them first. I want to knock them back down a little bit and give them a reality check. The longer they hang around, that's not good for the Niners. They have nothing to lose.
That's it.
You could see some LaFleur and Shanahan kind of came up together in the coaching ranks. Shanahan has had his number like for a lot of years. Don't be surprised if LaFleur runs some trick plays. That's what underdogs do. They're going to go all and they can win this game. So the quicker the Niners, and you know what? If it's a close game, I am a little uncomfortable with our kicker. And it's not just because he missed 2 kicks in the last game, an extra point and a chip shot 38-yarder. If you look at the field goals that he made, he is very rarely down the middle. He squeaks it in on the right or squeaks it in on the left. His margin for error is very, very small. And I do not want this to come down to a field goal game at the end.
Especially if the fields, I was a kicker. I hated kicking in wet grass because
you're afraid to plant, right?
Was my left foot, was my plant foot.
Yep.
It had nothing to do with my kicking leg. It was all about my plant. If I didn't get a firm plant, see, when you take a light step, gingerly step with your plant foot, you don't get as much power in your drive with your kicking leg, because your power comes so much from how you plant that leg. It gives you the ability to really whip your kicking leg through the ball. And many times when I played in rain, I used to take a towel and they didn't stop me back in high school, but I used to put that towel right where my plant was going to be and stepped on that so my cleats would have something that would grab into, because if they took the wet grass, I would slide, and then I had no power in my kicking foot. I've always wondered how today's kickers kick still pretty well in wet weather. Maybe it's better field conditions. I'm playing in high school,
right,
college, not the greatest. I love kicking on artificial turf. When I played at Diablo Valley College, they had artificial turf growing up, and I could kick 5-6 yards, maybe sometimes closer to 8-10 yards better. I just got such great traction in my plant foot. I could kick like crazy. I mean, I back in when I would warm up at DVC, I'm putting the ball, kicking it on the 45, even 50-yard line, taking shots, and I'm putting them through from the 45, 55 yards, 60's real stretch for me back then, but it was fun. But I couldn't do that on a damp night in November in the Bay Area. You know how many damp nights we had, right?
Yeah.
Gosh.
The thing about it is Green Bay's kickers struggle too. He's not.
No, he's not too good.
Yeah, he's missed a few too. So let's not let it come down to the battle of 2 average kickers. Let's let the Niners get a nice, comfortable lead and coast. Hopefully, whether it's raining or not, I think a lot of Christian McCaffrey running the ball, catching the ball, some jet sweeps with Debo. They need to take care of this team quickly, because if they let them hang around the second half, anything can happen.
We'll do our show later in the week. We'll do our picks.
We'll do our preview.
but I think it's going to be right now. My picks, I'll come up with, maybe changes later. But I'm taking Detroit and San Francisco, and in the AFC, I'm taking Buffalo, and I'm a little undecided still on Baltimore, Houston. Oh, you asked me about the weather, Los. Let me look at that. Baltimore for the weekend.
Senior, I'm not crazy about that spread. 10 points is a lot.
I don't care if they win by 4 or 5, just win.
Yeah, but I think a lot of money is going to go on Green Bay with that. Based upon last week, they're gonna think that the Niners are a little bit rusty. Which you know how Vegas is. If they're trying to put a line out there to make everybody go one way, then you go the other. So I think a lot of money is going to go on Green Bay. So maybe that's good for the Niners to cover that 10-point spread. But that's a lot of points against a hot team. We always say in sports, it's who's hot going in. Green Bay's hot. So it'll be interesting for sure. I definitely
Baltimore Saturday.
Is it Saturday or Sunday game?
It's a Saturday game. Friday, 64% chance of snow. Saturday, 28 degrees with a low of 20 with a 4% chance of rain. So if that's a Saturday afternoon game. So it'll probably be late afternoon in Baltimore. It's probably like 4:30. My guess is that's going to be a, pretty cold game there. Freezing temperatures. I don't know who that would favor. I really don't.
Baltimore, and it would favor Baltimore. Houston's a dome team, so any cold weather would probably bother them a little bit more. James, but take the over. James, don't take the 10 one way or another. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Take the over. That's what I would do.
So
what's the line on the Baltimore Houston game? Is it 7?
Let's take a look. Baltimore. 10 for the 49ers. Baltimore is 9.
Ooh.
Baltimore's 9. Lions 6. Bills -3. That means they think that's an even game because you get generally close to 3 for a home game.
Man, I'm not going to count out Kansas City. Like on paper, the Bills should win that game, but
I know. I'm not.
I'm really curious to see how Mahomes plays. This is the first road playoff game for him. Everything's been at home, nice and comfy and cozy for him. See how he plays on the road. That's a tough place to play.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I mean, wow. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to Buffalo and the Ravens. That's gonna be interesting. I think, and I'm thinking Detroit 49ers, but we'll see. I'm 6-0. I would love to go a perfect 13-0. Although I have no money on it, that's why I'll win. If I put money on it, I would lose. I guarantee you. Everything I touched lately.
Yeah, listen to James. Listen to Dan's pick. James, he's out right now.
When I put money on it lately, I've been losing. So, all right, guys. You guys want to touch on the Warriors real quick? I'm ready to get out of here. Los is
disappointing loss tonight. Disappointing. Draymond was back. Memphis didn't have a lot of pieces, and they still lost. So Draymond just is not going to automatically fix things. Warriors have some issues. I see a trade coming relatively soon. They have to shake it up because it's what they're doing right now is not working. They don't have any chemistry.
Let me touch this Will Martinez comment. I don't think your Bucks get by Detroit in Detroit, Will. Sorry to say, I would love to see the Bucks win in the sense of if the Niners win Saturday night, I will maybe be pulling for the Bucks because I think that's the easier game for the 49ers. What do you think, Los?
Yeah, on paper, Tampa's an easier game than Detroit, but Tampa actually played the Niners deep this year. Mayfield made some plays, but Detroit's the unknown. The Niners haven't played them in a while, and what scares me about Detroit is they have a really good offensive line where I don't think, even as great as Bosa, Hargrave, and Armstead is, I think Goff will have time. And if Goff has time, he can make those short to intermediate throws. So Detroit would be a harder matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, guys. Tomorrow night is what do we got? Tuesday. Anything cooking? You guys that when's their next game? Wednesday night? Yeah, Wednesday night against the Jazz in Utah. So where do we go? We're down to Kings have a game tomorrow night in Phoenix, and they lost a tough overtime game to Milwaukee the other night.
Free throws, yeah.
Free throws. They missed 3 or 4 free throws in the final 18 seconds. Mike Brown got tossed earlier in the game and was controlled upset. He had a 5-minute brought out his laptop and pointed out the officials' inconsistency. Thought that was interesting. I don't know if he'll get fined for it or not. He did it in a way where he tried not to get fined, I think. But he made a lot of great points, especially about defensive position, where he says, where we've been told Sabonis was getting called fouls because he had, one hand up and his other hand was body check. And then one official told us, you got to have this position up, both hands up. And then he gets told different things by different officials. So how did the Bellinger versus Correa come out? Poll?
Let's check it out right now. Let me get to it.
Mark Graves is saying Bellinger 61%. Maybe that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep. 61% for Bellinger.
What was the other final coming?
13% for Carlos Correa. 25% for neither. 120 votes.
120 votes. So out of 120 votes, you said 25% for neither?
Correct.
So neither picked up 29 votes? Dang. If I did my math right.
I do not want to see any more. The Giants are the leading candidate for this guy. I don't want to see that anymore. If the Giants were in a election for like a governor or a presidency, can you imagine? Oh, the Giants are.
Yeah, polls have it.
Oh no, shit, they lost. Oh, the Giants with 2 hours left in voting are expected to win Arizona. Oh no, they lost. Oh my God, stop with the leading candidates. When they sign them, they sign them. I don't want to hear anything.
Yeah, I don't even read the rumors anymore. Like, oh, they're in. I don't even buy it. I don't buy it.
Imanaga was the last straw for me. Like everything you heard, writing, everything, not just from one guy, from like different sources. All Imanaga's going to the Giants for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then that didn't happen. That was it for me. Oh God.
Hang around real quick in the chat, and I'll tell you what I heard. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow night at. Hey, you know what? We're going to be going. We might be going head to head with
KMBR.
We're the leader. What do we call them?
Yeah.
The
Who's the host? Did they even announce who the host is?
I don't know. Know.
Hey, chat, did anyone announce the host of what the KMBR is doing tomorrow night from 6 to 9?
But you know what? We'll be here.
We'll be here.
Come join us. No commercials. Commercial free. MF says, heard a rumor it's Kerry Crowley. That's my guess. I'm guessing it's Kerry Crowley.
What's up, Jim?
I think it's going to be Kerry. Would be shocked if it's anybody different. But we'll come on PJ. No, they're coming back, PK, with nightly 6 to 9. They realize giving it to a national whatever feed was not working. So
not to mention they heard NorCal Sports Network is blowing up.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
trying to embrace.
Stay tuned to NorCal. We'll be here, and we're working on some new things too. But guys, have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow night. What are we going to do? 8 or 8:30?
It's up to you. I think you said you wanted to do 8:30, right? Or you want to do 8? It's up to you.
Yeah, as long as we don't go too long like tonight, as long as we stay under 2 hours, I'm good. So 8:30, yeah, we'll do 8:30. 8:30, please. It is. Johnny, ask, and you shall receive. As Chick-fil-A would say, my pleasure. Our pleasure. All right, guys. Have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow night.